While the gallery works closely with the artists, creating various programs and observing how their work evolves, it's hard for the audience to catch all the context unless they follow every update. That's why we've decided to create a video to briefly review the direction of the three artists who will be joining us at Frieze Seoul 2024. Shall we start?
Yes, of course.
Then, shall we first talk about the artist Min Sung-hoon?
Min Sung-hoon explores the involuntary reactions people experience when their surroundings shift due to societal changes, such as anxiety, and how they become aware of these shifts. He collects objects and furnishings left behind after people have moved, where their original purpose has become obscure. By taking these objects apart and reassembling them, he creates variable structures and installations. He combines large and small objects, adding decorative elements such as beads and lace, or thin films like vinyl, to tactilely illustrate the points at which individuals encounter their external changes. From the beginning of his career to today, Min's various attempts to connect the senses and the physical body reveal a consistent trajectory. For a long time, he's been presenting movements such as dancing, rolling, running, pushing, and pulling with objects he created earlier. Connecting the body with the reassembled structures through touch ultimately results in a dynamic experience. These experiences occur simultaneously in different ways and from different positions within his artworks. The works exist in an open state within the space, and the audience, as individual bodies, cyclically perform the same roles that the artist had during the creation process, generating personal memories, sensations, and unique images. Min Sung-hoon's new work, Circulating Body, attempts a structural expansion of his previous Skin Layer series, which involved mutable bodily structures enhanced with decorative elements after transforming collected objects. The collected objects were intimately connected to someone in a shared space before being discarded. We focus on publicness because it represents a way of discussing personal life within a space. The act of collecting these objects and relocating them to one's space is a process that extends the issues of inside and outside the boundary, interstitial space, to one's relationships with others, groups, and society, intervening deeply in personal life and transitioning into a process of circulation. The meaning of circulation not only involves structural changes in the working process, but also implies a cognitive shift in perception depending on the situation. In his latest work, Min Sung-hoon fragments and restructures the forms of objects collected from various places, creating around 30 images that change depending on the spaces they occupy. The process of transforming them into structures capable of expanding within a space, with fluid connecting structures, encourages the audience to discover not only the intrinsic meanings of each object, but also their connections and relationships to the outside world. This approach invites a deeper exploration of how objects, spaces, and human interactions are intertwined, highlighting the dynamic interplay between the individual and the collective in public and private spaces. Now let's move on to Ahn Sang-Hoon.
Ahn Sang-Hoon considers painting as both a subject of inquiry and a world of exploration. He questions the nature of painting as an art form and how an artist constructs a work through practical approaches such as exhibitions and projects. His paintings are dominated by abstract emotions.
But according to critic Jeong Jeong Ju, this should be seen not as the purpose of his work, but rather as a method.
Ahn Sang-Hoon describes his artistic process as beginning with images that are destined to disappear, photographs of people, objects, and landscapes from his daily life captured on his iPhone, specifically from the recently deleted album. His paintings feature techniques such as spraying, similar to spray paint, and flowing with watercolors and acrylics that recreate the primary surfaces of these ephemeral images. The recreated surfaces of Ahn's paintings, glossy and moist, are drawn and colored through finger and hand painting, along with painterly gestures. Over time, these surfaces shift from their original form and texture, transforming through multiple decisions and abandonments in the painting process into something abstract, or resembling a form. Ahn Sang-Hoon's work transcends the boundaries between figurative and abstract art. He is cautious about painting being confined by interpretation and meaning. For him, an image is not merely a static scene, but rather an organism that moves freely between disparate concepts, undergoing cycles of disappearance and regeneration. In Ahn Sang-Hoon's site-specific works across various spaces, he considers the walls where the canvas will be installed, the elements connecting these walls, and the movement paths of the audience within the space. Using his body and senses, he has painted on exhibition walls, floors, building exteriors, vinyl, tent fabric, banner fabric, and plywood, treating them as canvases. The artworks created on-site are mostly erased and disappear by the end of the exhibitions. In some cases, Ahn uses collected materials such as banners and vinyl as mediums. By incorporating parts of reality and using discarded objects as substitutes for canvases, Ahn's painting world blends purity with reality and ideas with actuality. This mingling reflects his critique of the absurdities where exaggerated meanings assigned to abstract art collude with market logic. Ahn Sang-Hoon's varied experiments and works surrounding painting are often born from erased and discarded elements. While he doesn't overtly put social messages into his work, there is a growing depth to his painterly world that subtly encapsulates the melancholy of life connected to reality. This backdrop reflects his nuanced engagement with the social fabric, using his artistic process to explore and express the complexities and often overlooked aspects of everyday existence. Lastly, we're going to look at Jeong Jeong Ju.
Jeong Jeong Ju's artistic journey began while studying in Germany in 1998, focusing on observing light and artistically handling its movements. For nearly a decade, until 2007, he worked on projects that involved placing cameras inside various architectural models to capture videos, which were then displayed in real time on external monitors or projectors. Since around 2010, he's been pushing boundaries by incorporating videos of people performing inside these models, or by simplifying architectural elements, referencing minimalist structures and materials in his sculptures. Recently, Jeong has been trying to integrate his initial works with performance videos and sculptural projects. In this process, he is paying more attention to light, especially artificial light. LED lights, which can be considered the light of our era, are not only used in artificial lighting in buildings, but are also present in billboards, TVs, and all display devices. This light source is a tool for reproducing the world in images, and a key element in creating the virtual environments of media. While natural light evokes awe akin to the divine realm and is profoundly beautiful, artificial light also provides us with diverse information and beauty, but simultaneously invokes various symbols and discourses within the capital's framework. The dual emotions of awe and fear experienced in the natural light of his early works also appear in pieces dealing with artificial light. Videos displayed on LED monitors and billboards in his works capture scenes deeply embedded in everyday life and people. These include videos of individuals reacting to external stress, rotating camera footage from his friends' living rooms in the apartment complex where he lived, and a series focused on zooming in and out of windows and dark spots of urban buildings. The videos are sometimes obscured or reflected through the surfaces of metals and mirrors in the artwork, creating distortions or a flow of protruding colors. This is his attempt to reduce the representation of daily life through artificial light to a pure flow of light and color, expressing various unconscious changes that occur within the flow of thoughts and emotions. The diversity of artificial light in his works can be seen as a metaphorical landscape for ambivalent emotions like affirmation and negation, anxiety and curiosity, fear and delight. Moreover, it can be interpreted as a spatial configuration of the city, light, and others that we experience in our daily lives.
From September 4th to September 7th, at Frieze Seoul 2024, we will present the works of Min Sung-hoon, Ahn Sang-Hoon, and Jeong Jeong Ju. Using the keywords memory, loss, and symptoms, these three artists explore different forms and languages through objects, paintings, and media. We will be at booth C10. See you there! Oh, And on September 4th, the opening day of Frieze Seoul, we'll be presenting a short performance by the currently exhibiting artist Bona Park at Samcheong Night. We'll announce the exact time on Instagram, so stay tuned.